What's going on, guys? Coach Stoneface here, bringing you my Week 3 NFL picks. Last week I went 14-2, missing out on Minnesota as well as the Vegas-New Orleans game. This week I'm looking to go perfect 16-0, so hopefully, I can help you guys out. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail for the reasoning of my picks. There are a couple I'm probably going to mention, but if you have any questions or want to know why I'm doing this, give me a shout, leave a comment, and I'm always going to be happy to debate and defend my picks. So let's pop over here. All right, so tonight, Thursday, September 24th, 2020, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Miami Dolphins. Jacksonville's going to have about 17,000 fans in the stand, which many players have already said that they're excited for. Minshew's coming off a great week too, but so is Fitzmagic. There is talk about Tua getting some playing time tonight, but from everything I've read and heard, it's not going to happen. Jacksonville is favored. They've talked about this fans, but the injuries to DJ Chark, and even if he does play, he's not going to be 100%. I am going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to pick the Miami Dolphins to beat Jacksonville in Jacksonville. The next game up, we have Las Vegas at New England. Now, if you can see a little bit in the back there, or if you know me at all, you know I am a diehard Patriots fan. Yes, I understand their legacy, yes, all that kind of fun stuff, and I am a homer. I'm also cheering for Tampa Bay this year just because I think if New England sucks, they're not going to... Bill Belichick's legacy is not going to be affected. If Tampa Bay sucks, then Brady's going to just be shit on, and that's not what we're looking for. I want New England and Belichick to have a great success and have a great legacy, but I don't want Tom Brady's legacy to be shit on. So I am this year rooting for the Buccaneers to do well. But get back to this game, Vegas versus New England. New England's favored by 6.5. Don't know why. I'm actually going to take Vegas coming into Foxborough and beating the Patriots. I just think Josh Jacobs is way too good. Darren Waller's on fire right now. Yes, I know Edelman had 170, 180 yards receiving last week. Cam Newton's doing well with his feet and with his arm. I just have a gut feeling that Vegas is going to come in. They're going to make New England, look like a Brady-less New England Patriots. Going to be a close game, I think, but I am going to take Raiders straight up. The next game I'm having trouble with, Falcons versus Bears. I think Bears have shown a lot. I think Bears' defense is much better than the Falcons, but I don't know if Chicago has enough to deal with what Atlanta has up front. Atlanta's, having Matt Ryan there in quarterback. They have Russell Gage, they have Ridley, and they have Julio. Now, again, I'm doing this on Thursday, so nothing's come out officially yet. If Julio doesn't play, this pick's going to be really bad because I think they need Julio for Ridley to be as good as he is because Julio still brings in that double team. He's still a deep threat. He's still a big physical guy, and that does draw double coverage. In this pick, though, I am going to go with the Falcons, but it is going to be close. Wrong button there. All right, the next game. I'm trying to keep my homerism way on this one as well and thinking, New England, Buffalo. I probably hate Buffalo. I go to Buffalo every single year for football. Nothing but respect for the organization and the fans, but I'm a Patriots fan, so don't really care about Buffalo. With that being said, I think Josh Allen, and they're saying this on Good Morning Football today, he's irresponsibly fearless. And what I mean by that and what they meant by that is he's going to throw against, Jalen Ramsey. He's going to do whatever he can. He's going to take those shots even if you shouldn't. Because of that, I want to say Bills. The Rams have a fantastic defense, as does Buffalo. I'm not really giving one over the edge over the other. Jared Goff had a good game last week, but he did have 0 touchdowns first week. So what Jared Goff are we going to get going forward? I love Robert Woods. I think he's fantastic. I've been all in on Cam Akers, but again, he's hurt. Who knows what Malcolm Brown's going to do? Do you really trust Darrell Henderson to carry the load? I don't. So with that being said, Buffalo Bills, don't make me look silly. I'm going to pick you. Coming into this recording, I was going to pick the Rams, but I kind of talked myself out of it. Buffalo at 2. Next one's pretty simple. Wrong button. I'm taking Cleveland. Should I go over? Oh, that's why I was doing the wrong screen. I'm taking Cleveland. they're dumpster fire, but not as bad as Washington. Washington's defense is really good. I don't trust Haskins. I just don't. I think him and Scary Terry have a good rapport, but they're just inconsistencies. Now, in fantasy football, I have Gibson in almost every league, or at least 2/3 of the leagues. I like Gibson. I just don't. He's not Hunt. He's not Chubb. He's not. They don't have OBJ. They don't have Jarvis Landry. They don't have Hooper. It's got to be Cleveland. The next one, without AJ Brown, because we don't know if he's going to play. Derrick Henry is still September, so Derrick Henry's not playing that well. I just believe that Minnesota's going to put it together. Their defense has been decimated, but Titans' defense, even with Clowney coming over, hasn't been that great. I don't know. I'm going back and forth. Tannehill has been better than Cousins, but I still trust Thielen over anybody on Titans side, and I trust Dalvin Cook over Derrick Henry at this point in the season. We're going with the Vikings. I don't care who's hurt. I don't care who's in for quarterback. The Giants, you're getting Devontae Freeman on 3 days practice, so if he does play, he's not going to get many touches. Wayne Gallman coming off of, just being designated to be on the practice squad, so that says a lot about what their thoughts are there. And Deion Lewis, he did fairly well when he came in after Barkley got hurt, but I don't think, even with the injuries to Bosa and everybody, oh man, it's got to be the 49ers. The 49ers are just the team, but the 49ers don't have a running back either now, do they? They also don't have the same receiving core. Giants receiving core is better. We're going 49ers. We are going 49ers. You guys are watching this like, look at the indecisiveness of coach there. Well, you're right. It is indecisiveness. I think when you have two garbage teams, and that's with all the injuries, two garbage teams, it's tough. But I will take the 49ers and their depth over the Giants and their lack of depth. I don't think there's going to be any big names. I don't think it's going to be a shootout either way. I think it's going to be a sloppy, close game, but I am going to take the 49ers. I also think Joe Burrow is going to get his first win. I think he has to. He's a great player. I think Mixon's going to come out and have a fantastic game. Obviously, losing Uzma, tough loss for the Bengals, but the Eagles are just, especially Rigor going down, the Eagles look like they're in chaos, and I think maybe that's part of the Ertz issues they've had early on. The fact that everybody's, Philly this, they have Goddard, they have Ertz, they're going to be fantastic even if they don't have Deshaun Jackson playing well, even if Alshon Jeffrey's out, which I believe he's back now, or coming back at least soon. They just look terrible, and I'm all in on Miles Sanders. I think Miles Sanders is fantastic, but the fact that they are even meeting with Devonta Freeman makes me feel like something's going on in Philly that I don't know about. So I think since he comes through here, I think Joe Burrow looks fantastic. I think this is going to be his first win of many in the NFL. Houston versus Pittsburgh. This is another one I still haven't made my mind up, so I'm just going to talk, and we'll see. Big Ben's back. He looks pretty good. It doesn't look fantastic, but he looks pretty good. James Conner, terrible first week, got hurt. Benny Snell came in, did all right. Last week, James Conner did fantastic. Benny Snell did absolutely nothing. It's proven to me that Tomlin's going to have a one running back system. Benny Snell, he said, is capable of coming in and being a bell cow, is capable of splitting reps. He proved he's not going to do that after 1 week. And I know that's only 1 week. We have a lot to go. But with that being said, can Connor and Big Ben kind of carry that team? Is Juju still a number one receiver, or do you have Deontay coming in and taking over that, or do you have Washington coming in? I don't know. Obviously, as long as you have TJ Watt on the line there, Pittsburgh's looking pretty good. But on the other end, you have JJ Watt. On Houston, you have Deshaun Watson, who's lost to the two best teams in the NFL, weeks 1 and 2, and wants to prove himself because he just got paid. He got paid, what, quarter of $1 billion? So he needs to do something. So I think we're going to look at a rejuvenated Houston team. I think Fuller with 1 target was a mistake last week, and I think you're going to see more, even though I think Brandon Cooks is going to go off this game and be fantastic. The big question mark is David Johnson. Are we going to get a younger, rejuvenated David Johnson, or is he going to look old? Is he going to look sluggish? Is he going to look like he can't break tackles anymore? I don't know. But either way, I am taking the Houston Texans. Oh, wrong way. I'm taking the Houston Texans to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. The next one I don't even need to talk about. I'm taking Indy. Is Phillip Rivers good? No. Is Jonathan Taylor good? Probably. I haven't bought the hype in on him. But can they beat a Jets team that doesn't have anybody? Yes. This isn't like... There are some college teams that could probably beat the Jets right now. And that's... Maybe it's not disrespectful. That may be this or that, and people may be upset that I'm even saying that. But honestly, I think the Jets would lose to some good college teams. My thoughts. Same thing with the next one. Super easy. Mike Davis is not CMC. Carolina has a fantasy valued running back in CMC because of who he is. There's no value. Like Mike Davis, they're going to be so far down, and I don't care if Mike Davis is a receiving back or not. He's a younger guy. He's six-year pro. Carolina's just not good. They are not good. And I don't think Teddy is good. I think they need to tank. And I think this CMC injury, sorry for all you fantasy owners who have them, but I think they're not good. They need to tank. They need to come in. They need to get the man rocking himself. Trevor Lawrence, even though I was really hoping the Patriots got him, but I'm very happy with Cam. You need something. You need CMC to stay hurt a little bit longer and make sure he's fully healthy when he comes back. Not that I want him to be hurt. I just want him to be fully healthy because next year you need him because you're going to have a quarterback in the draft. I don't care where you draft, you're going to take a quarterback. And you need to have a good year here. So I am going to take the Chargers in this one. I don't think it's going to be close. I think Justin Herbert is going to be very, very good. His touch, his deep throw is fantastic. And that's definitely going to help Mike Williams if Mike Williams is healthy enough to play. And then I just think on the the running back receiving end, I just think they have everything. I think you're going to have DJ Moore get 15 targets, 16 targets, 10 catches, but it's not going to be enough. So LA Chargers, and it won't be close. I'm also all in on the Kyler Murray MVP train. I think Kyler Murray's looked fantastic through the first 2 weeks, and I think just overall they've looked good. Him and Hopkins, great. No concerns. If you get Kenyon Drake going, I think Arizona is going to be a very real Super Bowl contender. But you need to get Kenyon Drake going. Not as much as you had last year, because I think that's the issue. I think last year you relied so much on Kenyon Drake rushing and receiving that it hurt your team. Right now, I think you're winning, which is awesome, but you're not using Kenyon Drake enough. If you get Kenyon Drake involved more, you're going to be talking about Arizona in the same respects that you're talking about Baltimore, that you're talking about KC, some of these higher-end teams that you're just like, are going to be contenders. You can put Arizona in that conversation, but they need to use Kenyon Drake more appropriately is what I'm going to say. I know he's getting his 15, 20 rushes a game, but he's not doing a lot with that, and I don't know if they're calling him at poor times. There's some places where you can see them stack the box and they still rush him up the middle. I don't really understand that. Kyler Murray needs to take a little bit more initiative and audible out of those. But I don't think they're going to have a problem with Detroit. I know Detroit's kind of, they've made themselves look better against some subpar teams. Not being Chicago, I guess. They didn't look that great against Green Bay, but they just don't have enough. Matt Stafford misses Golladay, and they haven't really even played together that much, but Golladay looks good, but he's been hurt. Marvin Jones Jr., who should be going off as a fantasy god right now for everybody who drafted him, is not doing much. This three-headed backfield is not working. They just need to figure it out, whether it's going to be Swift, Carry-On, or AP. They need more consistency, and they need to just figure out who they're going to go with. I don't think it's going to be close. I'm taking Arizona and a blowout on this one. This one I thought was going to sound a lot like homerism, but honestly, I don't know how you can disagree with my pick here. Tampa Bay over Denver. Denver doesn't know if they're going to have Drew Lock. Denver doesn't have Philip Lindsay, and I don't think Melvin Gordon can... I think Melvin Gordon's going to benefit from having Lindsay just like he benefited from having Austin Eckler. Denver it's just hurt. You don't know who your quarterback's going to be. You don't know. You've already lost Cortland Sutton, and Jerry Jeudy does look good, but you're just missing too much. Tampa Bay's defense is great, good, bordering on great, getting there. They definitely need some more reps. I can say the same thing about Tampa Bay that I said about Detroit. Your three-headed backfield isn't working. You got McCoy involved, even though he had a couple drops last game, but you forgot all about Ronald Jones and you went right to Fournette. Week 1, you went all about Ronald Jones. He played fantastic, but you didn't play Fournette, who, again, kind of like the same situation I just talked about with the Giants and Devonta Freeman. He didn't have a training camp, but Fournette's a much better running back than Devonta Freeman is or ever was. No disrespect to Devonta Freeman and what he did with Atlanta. If it's Fournette, because Fournette is on paper the best running back on that team, then give him the ball. I have Fournette in some fantasy leagues. I have Ronald Jones in some fantasy leagues on some late round of flyers. I don't care which one it is, just pick one. Put everybody else out of their misery, but also give them consistency with Tom Brady. And if you want to do, even if you want to do Ronald Jones as your running back and Fournette as your change of pace or your receiving back, kind of like what James White was in New England for Brady, do that, because then he can build the chemistry. But right now it's a gong show. What are they doing with the tight ends? I know this has been talked about everywhere. Why is Gronk not playing better? Why is OJ Howard not playing better? Why are they not getting targets? Like, Gronk has 1 catch in 2 games. Not acceptable. So I'm taking Tampa Bay because Denver's just not very good. They have too many injuries, and Brady's not going to go down 1-2. But Tampa Bay has a lot of question marks they need to figure out. The next game, I think, is going to surprise some people because I think Seattle is a Super Bowl contender. I think if you're going to put them in the NFC, you can put Arizona there. You're going to put Seattle there. But the other team you're going to put there is Dallas. And what they did against Atlanta just proves how good they are. And I think Seattle has, with your DK Metcalf, with your Tyler Lockett, I have 2 great wide receivers. With Chris Carson, you have a running back who's going to get you there, and Russell Wilson, who is a very good, very, very good quarterback, top 5 in the league without question. I just like the way Dallas has been playing. I think they kind of figured themselves out against the Rams week 1, and although they played poorly in the first half of the game against Atlanta, I think what they showed, the resolve they showed coming back, is a lot. Seattle threw all over New England's depleted defense and still only won by less than a touchdown against a Cam Newton team who also threw against them. And as much as I like Cam Newton, and I said I'm a Patriots fan, I love Cam Newton, he's not Dak Prescott. And although Dak's not running like Cam's running, if Cam can throw for over 300 yards against Seattle, Dallas is going to do the same thing. And Seattle's defense has been poor. They didn't do well against Atlanta. I mean, Atlanta was in a very similar situation that Dallas was, or against Dallas and Seattle, where it's just a shootout. So I think Dallas is going to walk over Seattle's defense a little bit. I think, even though they lost Leighton Vander Esch, I think Dallas' defense is a little bit better. But I'm going to put, if I had to choose Zeke over Carson, I'm choosing Zeke. If I had to choose, Cooper and Gallup over DK and Tyler Lockett, I'm probably going to do that. I'm sorry. I think Gallup is going to be good. And that doesn't even talk about the rookies coming in. Yeah, I'm going Dallas. Going Dallas. We have the Packers and Saints Sunday night. Going to be a great game. Who's going to win? And who am I going to take? That's a question I know. I'm excited to find out because I don't know as I'm talking right now. Drew Brees looked bad. Looked bad last week. And that's something you don't say very often. Did he miss Michael Thomas that much? Because Emmanuel Sanders did not play well. We expect Emmanuel Sanders to come in and get Michael Thomas like targets, Michael Thomas like yards, touchdowns, all that. Didn't do it. Kamara looked fantastic. Kamara is the one bright spot where he did look where he did look fantastic. I think you had Traquan Smith and Harris step up for New Orleans, and I think those are positives. Green Bay is kind of in the opposite, where I think Rodgers has overperformed a little bit. And if any of my friends do see this, I have a couple really close friends who are Packers fans who are going to just massively disagree with me. But I think Rodgers has overperformed. I think he's looked a little too good. And it sounds silly. Well, if he looks too good, maybe he's just that good. And I know he's a great quarterback, one of the best of all time. Wherever you want to rank him, he's one of the top 10, 15, if you're my friends, 5 quarterbacks of all time. But he has weaknesses, and I just don't see, especially if Devontae Adams is not healthy, and from what I'm reading, it's kind of a maybe he might play, maybe he won't. I bet over on his targets last week, or on his receptions last week, and he made me look silly. But that's only because he got hurt and sat out the second half. And I like that they're being cautious, because Green Bay is going to be there at the end of the year. They're going to make the playoffs. They're going to be there. So save Adams now. But can Lazard pick up the pace? Can Valdez-Scantling pick up the pace? I don't know. Is Aaron Jones anywhere close to Kamara's level? No. So I came in picking Packers. I did, and I think I talked myself out of it. Oh, because I take Kamara. I take Kamara over. But the way New Orleans played against Las Vegas, and no offense, but Rodgers is a lot better than Carr. Jones, I wouldn't say is better than Jacobs, but I just think Drew Brees is going to come in and figure it out. I think it's going to be a good game, but even with no fans, I still have to give the home court advantage, and I'm going to pick New Orleans. I almost said Green Bay, but I am going to pick New Orleans. There you have it. Now we get to the Monday night game. What are we thinking for Monday night? You're going against the past 2 MVPs in Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson. If you know me, you know where I stand on Lamar Jackson, and that's I'm not very high on him. I don't think he's that good of that caliber of a running or quarterback. Sorry, I will not say he's a running back. The one thing that you come in this year and you say is you want to see him as a passer more, and he hasn't. I mean, he's completed over 70% of his passes so far, including deep passes, which he very much lacked the last year and a bit that he played. I think Ingram, and you see this now, Ingram has outsnapped Dobbins quite significantly, which, unless you're in a keeper fantasy league, Dobbins has lost some value as his years played on, and I think Ingram is just that kind of guy. He stepped up to the competition. Dobbins has potential. Hollywood Brown's a fantastic wide receiver, and I think extremely underrated compared to what he did last year and then what he's done already this year. People are still sleeping on him a little bit, and I don't know why. And I think it has part of it. People sleep on Lamar a little bit, and I'm guilty. I sleep on Lamar. Clyde Edwards-Helaire has looked great for KC. I think the issue with KC is they have too many weapons, and I think that's tough if you're Andy Reid to handle, because you have too many options, and you're like, coach, that's a dumb thing to say. Options are good, but if you're Patrick Mahomes and you have the best or top 3 tight end in the league in Travis Kelce, you have a top 5 wide receiver in the league, and you're looking over at Tyreek Hill, you have a former, what is he, 5th or 6th overall pick in Sammy Watkins. You have too many options. You have McCole Hardman, who is supposed to be the next great thing and still can be, but he hasn't shown it necessarily where we want to see him. But I think the options, and then you're throwing the ball to Robinson too. I'm talking here, and I'm just, oh yeah, you can't forget Robinson. You can't forget this person, that person. KC's too good. They have too many options, and I think that's bad. I think you need to realize that Tyreek's your go-to. But good for Mahomes going through his progressions. He's looking 1, 2, 3. Where can I go? If I'm once taken, I got double coverage on Tyreek. Then you have the linebackers picking up the slot on Kelsey's route. What can you do? I think they need Hilaire to have a great game, which he might, which he can, which he's capable of, which we saw week 1 against Houston. I'm picking KC in this game, and I'm confident in my pick. KC has too many options, and Mahomes is just too good. You know what you're getting with the Ravens, just like you know what you're getting with KC, but KC is a little bit different this year because of how good Edwards-Hilaire has come in and he's going to be. You already knew, again, Lamar finished first overall in touchdowns last year in the season, which is fantastic. His 36 touchdowns led the league, but he still had so many question marks. And as much as you want to give him credit, and I'm going to contradict myself because I know in other games I'm like, oh, look what they did week 1 and 2. I'm going to say the exact opposite for Lamar. He's only done it weeks 1 and 2. What is he going to do against a shootout, against a KC team that's prepared to go shot for shot and just stymie you? I liked the Chargers last week. I think KC looked vulnerable. But in the end, they got hot in the second half there, and that's when I think you saw Mahomes take a bit more control of the game and understand who his go-to guys are. They only had one pass to a wide receiver in the first half. You're not going to make that mistake again. You're not going to, if you're Andy Reid or if you're Patrick Holmes, you're not going to make that mistake. I just think it was too close of a game for KC against the Chargers. So I'm taking KC over Baltimore. So there you have it. I filled out a OG pools. I have my point spreads. I think I might have changed some of my decisions here after talking. But this is what I'm going with. Miami's going to win tonight in Jacksonville. I'm on an island on that one, I know. Vegas over Patriots. If nothing else, take Vegas on the point spread because I don't see how Patriots are a 6.5 point favorite. I really don't. Their defense is not where it used to be. I don't see it. Atlanta over Chicago, but geez, I don't know about that one. Buffalo over Rams, still very close. Cleveland, I'm confident it's going to be Washington. Even though Washington's a really good football team. Their defense, especially the defensive line right now, is fantastic. Minnesota just needs this win, and I think they're going to gut it out a bit more than Tennessee. San Fran over the Giants, it's dumpster fire both ways. Cincy over Philly because Philly can't figure it out. Houston over Pittsburgh because Houston needs this more than Pittsburgh needs it, and I think you're going to have a really motivated Watson. Indy over the Jets because Jets are terrible. Chargers over Panthers, see Jets. Arizona over Detroit. Tampa Bay over Denver. Sorry about the homerism. Dallas over Seattle. Again, going to be a really good game. I'm excited for that game. I'm going to watch the Tampa Bay game, but I'm going to have the Dallas Seahawks game going back and forth. New Orleans over Green Bay, and I changed my mind on that 101 times. And then KC over Baltimore. So there's my 16 games this week. Let's see how we do. I went 14-2 last week. I'm going on some limbs on this one. I don't see it going quite as good for me this week, but this is the first one I wanted to record. It seems like a moot point right now. I did have not a recording, but I started recording it and it just didn't go through. But why Taysom Hill is not a quarterback? I don't know. I might still record that. It doesn't seem to matter anymore because your backup quarterback is blind Winston, and Taysom Hill's just taking shots down the field trying to run on a Wildcat. But I might still post that. If you guys have any topics you want me to cover, let me know. But week 3, September 24th to 28th, 2020, these are the 16 games. These are my 16 picks. Go Patriots. Go Buccaneers. Coach out.